What is going on, good people? It's your boy E Buck again. We are back. I am so sorry for the inconvenience and the lack of consistency on that. There, one of the challenges of doing both shows at once in the same day is you have to have proper time to get everything properly edited and evaluated. And I did not take that time. I had to take the blame for that. Please blame your boy, the CEO, on that one. That needs to be dealt with a little better in the future if I'm going to do both shows same night. I apologize for that. Without further ado, I now will give you the Guru's football session with me and your boy Hugh Lee. What's going on, y'all? Your boy E Buck in the building. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the show within the show. That show that we call the Guru's football session. We about to talk about the football that went on for week 2 in NFL and time permitting. Talk a little college. Hold on, y'all. You see that man with the master plan, the guy with just a slight gray, but it's far from ready to give it away. It's my man's Hugh Lee, the sports guru himself. What up, Hugh?
What's going on, man? Just got some huge news, man. I was looking at for myself, man. Bleacher Report gave me something where I can join their live podcast now, man. So that's huge. Before in the past, I've did a few things like battled people as far as debates and stuff on Bleacher Report. That's something that I was still trying to do too, man. As far as in my condition, man, not too many people know, man. But yeah, man. I basically went to the doctor, the back doctor today, not really getting any better, man. So that'd be a great at home job, man. That was a dream job. If that could even be remotely in reality, man, that'd be a huge blessing. But
Well, as y'all
yeah,
know,
man, that just kind of caught me up.
as y'all know, the Night Hall Network, we always working on more content, greater content, extra content. So that's just something Hugh got in the mix. He will definitely keep you posted. Keep him out at the end of this part of the show. We will always have Hugh let you know what he got cooking, so you know where to find him in other areas because he always got something going on. That's what we do. We got to stay busy. That's how you be. With that
This
being
week
said, yeah, go ahead, Hugh.
oh no, man, you good. Go ahead.
All right, that being said, y'all, without further ado, we're gonna talk about some of these week 2 games. I think me and you both agree overall, week 2, kind of stinky. Kind of
Yeah,
stinky.
better than part one, but just the first week was really bad. This week, man, more or less, it was some good games, but it was a lot of bad calls. We talked about that. Them calls was bad. Like, man, New
Oh
England
yeah.
overtime that one game, man, and it was so bad. It was literally like you saw it and you like, man, what the hell are they seeing? But it was
Yeah,
just to the point, man. Some of them
in this
was very suspect.
awful. Just awful, y'all. I mean, if you go back and watch some of them games, because you can always go to the YouTube and watch some of the condensed versions. Yeah. Some of them games just ridiculous. But okay, we're gonna talk about some that maybe were not quite so ridiculous. What you got, Hugh?
I want to get into like the Thursday game, the Vikings and Eagles. At first, it started off a little slow, then it picked up really big time, man. I don't really know what's going on with the Eagles right now, man, but it was just a really wacky game because Jalen Hurts still don't look like himself after losing their offensive coordinator. And then you seen arguing on the sideline. I mean, Devontae Smith got off. He was the one who had, I think, 4 receptions for like over 100 yards and a score. And then they went to the ground game, with DeAndre Swift, which he's a Philly native. So, yeah, man, I think he had 28 carries, something like that, 175 yards. And I don't think A.J. Brown too much cared about that. And you heard it in the sideline. But this is not the first time that happened. That escalated several times, like once last year and now this year. But overall, it was a good game. But what's surprising to me was how Philly let them get back in the game, and they was an onside kick away from making it interesting. So definitely surprised in them and how they're not clicking right now at the beginning of the year. But overall, man, I'd rather be 2-0 and trying to work on fixing things than 0-2 still trying to get it together.
Long story short, yeah, Eagles, they probably changed a little too much of what they was doing from last year. I think they kind of need to go back to some of the stuff that really worked from them from a year ago. because they do have a lot of those parts. And then, as far as that defense, we thought that was going to be improved based on some of the acquisitions and some of the draftees that they got. We still ain't got that quite gelling just yet. I ain't gave up on them. I still say they win their division, despite what we see from other teams, which we'll talk about. But all in all, I think, it was just one of them games. As far as Minnesota go, the running game not nearly as good without Dalvin Cook. That's going to come back to them in a few games, particularly games where they take an offense that's like a high-scoring offense, like our Lions, for example. You're going to wish you had that running game to rely on to kind of kill some clock. They do have the firepower to throw some points on the board in Minnesota, but they're going to need that running game to help balance stuff out because their defense is not as good as it's been in recent years at all.
I don't think that I have faith in Madison really to run the ball. When they ended up getting rid of Dalvin Cook, that was definitely a money situation. But I thought it was pretty funny because I said, man, you're going to give up one of the best weapons in the league. And they remain basically, I feel like Dalvin Cook made you respect the run game. And that's how he got more, plays with Jefferson and now with Addison, because I feel like Justin Jefferson and Addison would have had a field day if Dalvin Cook was still there. Just felt like that was a bad situation, man. I know he wasn't going to take a pay cut, but at the same time, man, they could have restructured or did something to figure it out something because you know how you can manipulate the contract. But I think they just wanted to move on and hey.
I agree. Anything else on that one? Should we move on to the next one, Hugh?
Nope, none at all.
Let's go, baby.
I want to go to the Lions and the Seahawks game. This one was actually a good one, and it delivered. The issue was, though, and I feel like it wasn't too much of him calling the 4 downs. But when you did call too many, which I felt like you were giving them too much opportunity to be on their side of the field. But more than anything, I can't even really say that. I give that like maybe 15, 20%. But the rest of the percent was I just felt like Aaron Glenn, we paid a lot of money for these guys to go on the outside, man, as far as the cornerback play. And that hasn't been good at all. But I can't really blame the whole defense because the front was really just attacking, man. They were trying to get to the quarterback, but I think they need Isaiah Bug back, man. They need to do something as far as the interior line. But I was really surprised because at first when they went down 10 and Goff threw the pick 6, I said, man, that might be the end of the game. And they ended up catching up. But sometimes what makes me scratch my head as far as making decisions, I would have went all out to try to get like the touchdown and regulation versus trying to tie the game with a field goal. It's like when I feel like he's supposed to go for it on 4th down, sometimes he would just settle and be conservative for the field goals.
Well, understand, people, the role, and when listening to sports talk radio this weekend, some of y'all Lions fans, I can't stand y'all. I really can't, because when prosperity is going, y'all see all the good and all the good. When stuff is bad, y'all wants to pick on everything. Yes, I understand we have been a losing franchise for decades, all my life. But at some point, we got to try to start to believe to some degree. This is not same old Lions, people. It is not, okay? Let us understand that. In the past, the Lions would have lost this game, and it would have been a blowout without any doubt. It wouldn't even went to overtime. Second of all, yes, the Lions have went for it on 4th down more than any other team since Campbell has been coach. It's not even close to second place. Has gone to 4th down more than Lions. That being said, we have one of the top 3 highest percentages of 4th down completion in the NFL, for that matter, based on the amount of attempts. So for those people that like to argue, okay, well, he's been going for it on 4th down too much. Y'all know, y'all done seen it for yourself. The vast majority of the time, the 4th down play works, okay? Of course, you stop doing it if it's not working, but it works for us. It's to the point where I don't understand why more teams ain't more prepared to contend with the fact that more times than not, if it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, we going for it. Y'all should be ready for that possibility. Y'all should be ready for us to fake some stuff because we do that quite often as well. I don't question that part of Campbell's decision making. As far as some of the other things you addressed, yeah, of course you can go and say, as far that it was a couple of decisions that you could question that game. You can say that for pretty much any coach in the National Football League. We definitely have a good coach here. Our defense, that's another matter. The defense was sparked up and ready to roll in game one. Game two, they should have been even more hyped. This was a home game. People have been looking forward to this for months now. Ford Field was sold out, and it was 95% Lions fans. That's something we're not used to seeing in Lions country. We used to the Ford Field being sold out, but usually it's a nice amount of visiting players in the house. We got to take better advantage when that happens. That we have the advantage in terms of the home field. I mean, because Lord knows it was several false start calls made in that game because we had the good loud going on. We cannot let the people down by having a situation to where we lose the game to that on that level. But in the end, this is still a good Lions team. I really need y'all to kind of come off the edge. Don't start pouring out the Kool-Aid just yet, okay?
Yeah, and I feel like at one point too, man, I definitely, and I still want to hit on the defense. They made a lot of knucklehead plays, made a lot of bad decisions, did things that was unnecessary that cost us. Like when you give a team 3 first downs in the drive, when you can get them off the field and kick a field goal, but yeah, you guys mess up and do boneheaded plays and make bad decisions, and then they get to the point where they first and goal and they easily can run it in from a yard. Come on, defense. You guys got to do better than that.
But Hugh, you also got to understand too. Another key reason why the Lions lost that game, them injuries piled up on us quick, bro. We had a
Pretty
lot
much.
of injuries that game. You had Montgomery get hurt. You had St. Brown hurt for part of that game. You had 2 people missing from the offensive line. Well, it's 2 now because Vitae is gone now, and we don't know if Decker coming back this weekend. You got the safeties out for the season, and a couple other players got hurt during that game. So that definitely played a factor in why that game ended up being close as it was. But that being said, at one point we was down by 10 in the fourth quarter. We can't have that. This week we got to get up on them quick and stay on them.
Yeah, other than that, I definitely wasn't upset with the performance. I know people was mad. I seen somebody, man, on one of the websites that I go to, Woodward Sports. That clown had the nerve to say "same old Lions." I had to, bite my tongue and get off of that actual page before I said something. But yeah, man, it's like you said, man, people are fair weather fans. One minute when they doing love them, and as soon as they make a mistake, they hate them. That's why when I seen the game, I talked to you and I said, yeah, I wasn't really mad, man. I was surprised that they got in there. And I told you basically it was a good game. It was just, we just couldn't pull it out. I said, hey, at the end of the day, you still got to give credit what credit is due. Geno really is starting to try to make a name for himself. That was a guy who basically was almost out the league, man, and he revived himself with the way he played. And that's still a decent team over there. When they lost to Green Bay, man, sometimes week 1 through 3 will lie to you. So yeah, man, before y'all stop drinking the Kool-Aid, y'all need to definitely realize, man, that this is a team to be excited for versus feeling like that they're going to let this opportunity slip away because they already after the game. Dan Campbell was talking about making adjustments and cleaning things up, but I still feel like long as they could just keep their focus, man, sky's the limit for this team still.
Right, because like I said, there's a few fan bases that I've seen on my page that kind of went off the edge. I mean, especially to my family in Kansas City, calm down. Please calm down. Your Chiefs going to be fine. When all is said and done, they'll be in the playoffs again. The AFC Championship more than likely will be in KC again. Relax, y'all. It can't be a blowout every weekend, okay?
Definitely a little afraid though for them because as far as them young wide receivers, I feel like they'll get it together. We've seen it happen before where a team get guys who not used to really playing in the big lights and having that target on their back. I believe those guys are going to get better. Like I seen Scott Moore definitely improve. It was a lot of flashes from him, and I still feel like that team's going to be good once those receivers just really start to mesh. but they will be okay, man. I just feel like now, when people saw that game, like you said, they thought it was going to probably be a blowout. Man, it was just good defense, man. You got to give the Jags some credit, man. They're better defense than I
Man,
even
and that's the other thing. You got to give Jags a lot of credit. That's a good team over there. That team did
did.
make the playoffs last year, much like that Seattle squad did. So I don't know why people also thought that Seattle was going to come in and be this pushover. That's a good team. If you know anything about football, and me and that dude right over there do, you know that's a good team. Y'all got to stop looking at or listening to the talking heads on Detroit radio, whatever it is that make y'all think the minute something wrong happens, it's all bad.
Yeah, because that was a good game. I don't care what nobody say, man. I was a little
Yeah, it was one of
disappointed
the
we
better
didn't
games again, no doubt.
good. Yeah, I want to talk about the Ravens versus the Bengals, man. That's the team you need to be worried about. If you a Bengals fan, you know the fair weather fans are really out to play with them. When they lost the first week, they lost to a Cleveland Brown team where inclement weather. We know how bad the weather was, man. It was pouring. So, we really looked at that game like, okay, if they didn't have to play in that type of environment, what would have happened? The second game definitely still looked like Joe Burrow had some rust from having a calf injury, and I know they said that he re-injured the calf. It's like a sprain or like he irritated it. But that being said, the Ravens haven't really impressed me neither, man. Zay Flowers did, but know that Odell got hurt already. I don't think it's nothing serious. But Lamar, man, it's like I just want him to get back to basics, man. Throw the ball to your open guys and run it when you get the opportunity.
Okay, I think we saw two different things when it came to Lamar Jackson. I was actually impressed with how he played in that game against Cincinnati. Cincinnati has a decent defense at best. They definitely are still playing their preseason, I feel like, because that's a lot of what happened in week 2. It was a lot of teams still kind of playing a preseason type game, getting their starters used to playing in the full NFL game. But that being said, I'm looking at his throwing motion. I'm looking at some of his decision making. I mean, he has a very light kind of flick type of throwing motion that's very easy. You know what I'm saying? He had people that was open. He was making good decisions with the football. He ran a little bit more than I would like to see him run at this point. But all in all, I think he had a good game that game. I like what I saw out of Lamar.
I feel like it was definitely better than the first game. But then the thing is too, what I looked at too was I was like, he played better than the first game, but he still got to get used to that offense, man. They try to put that in over the summer. Once he really give him week 5.
And
Because
remember,
once he
missed a lot of the OTAs and stuff because of the contract situation. Again,
so week 5
are showing. Those things are definitely showing to be an issue as we get deeper into the season.
Yeah, I definitely think he's gonna be all right, man, by that time though. So I'm not really worried about him. Okay, man. The Dolphins versus the Patriots. That was the game that I looked at. And I feel like it was really poor refereeing in that game.
It was.
I was surprised because it was just a lot of things that I saw too. Like, man, hey, they're gonna call that, or are they just gonna look at it like it didn't happen? I feel like at one point Roger Goodell, when a referee was making bad decisions or they didn't make the right decision when needed to be done, he was fining those guys for that. They need to start getting back to the drawing board, man, because I heard Steve Smith say something when he was basically at a preseason a ref. He said at the end of the game, if it was like an iffy decision they made, that they'll put them down, they'll have a conversation, talk to them, and voice an opinion on why did they do this and why did they make that call. And you basically get graded, and if you get poor grades on the decision you make, guess what? That fine coming. So I definitely feel like the game was kind of boring at first, and then as far as I felt like the Dolphins were getting some offense, but New England was like slow, like super slow. Then when they picked up the momentum, by that time it was a little too late, and that bad call hurt them as well. But I feel like they need to get off to more of a fast start too, because their slow start seemed like that ended up hurting them, or they'd be too far behind, and then they're trying to play catch up. But I give credit where credit's due. Bradley Chubb in that front, was attacking Mac Jones, and not only that, I felt like the offense and the defense played well.
Think about how much better that defense gonna be when you get your boy back in a few weeks. Because with Jalen Ramsey in the mix, on top of what they already got going, that team becomes even more dangerous. And like I said, just looking at that offense, they've just begun to do what they're gonna do. I feel like they still kind of playing with the first 10 pages of the playbook as far as what they're doing offensively. I think they got a whole bunch of other pages later on in that playbook that they saving for later on in the season. A whole bunch of trickery and whatnot. And the one thing you will note about them Dolphins, they got a lot of fast people on that squad.
In
Scratch for burners. So if Tua can get the ball to him and stay healthy, they definitely gonna be a team to be a problem.
Yeah, I definitely like the direction of what that team is going. And Mike Daniels, I feel like he's a really good coach, man. He's a player's coach. I feel like with New England, they were smart though, because Bill Belichick looked at it like, you ain't gonna beat me with Tyreek Hill. You got to beat me with someone else. And they still had enough weapons to where they can do that versus New England, where technically they don't have weapons, man. I be trying to tell, my boy Greg, I said, listen, man, they don't got no weapons. Why do you think Tom left? Bill Belichick want to do things his way. And it's starting to bite him now, man. It's starting to, really getting to the point where I know Robert Kraft's getting upset with him, and his job is starting to become in jeopardy. So I said, hey, man, I felt like the first game they were still a D-hop away from possibly pulling it off. But when you see how bad the weapons are over there and how they don't have the personnel, I mean, how is Mac Jones going to grow? We've seen people grow, like, for instance, Tua when he got Tyreek Hill, and then you turn around and you got Jalen Waddle as well. And then you looked at Josh Allen, for instance, who basically after his second year, he ended up getting Stephon Diggs. I definitely felt like the Mac Jones needed that jump, but since he don't got that jump right now with Big Lot Bill doing what he normally do, yeah, man, I definitely feel like he's in the hot seat.
Bill Belichick, maybe one of, if not the best overall coach in history in that football league. That being said, he's not a good coach for offensive football. He is not. Like I said, I always point back to, okay, Antonio Brown and Randy Moss. Outside of them two receivers, who did they really have at receiver? Okay, maybe Josh Gordon when Josh wasn't tripping on the weed. But in terms of him getting quality offensive players in there as general manager for about a decade or so, he ain't really did much. And it's coming back to haunt him now, plain and simple.
Need to catch up with the times, baby.
Absolutely. As far as Miami go, like I said, Miami a problem. Nah, they really about to be a problem. Y'all better look out.
Man, that crazy game with the Browns and the Steelers on Monday. That game started off crazy. It ended crazy.
Man. I don't know what's going on with our boy Watson, man. I don't know if he just ain't got it no more, or if it's just taking him longer to get it back. What's your thoughts, Hugh?
I feel like he's trying to do too much, but I still feel like they need to definitely work with him because the man was out the league for damn near a year and a half. He got injured at one point, and then a whole, with the massage hookup, I don't even want to really get up into that. But
right. Man, you gotta wonder though, is that part of what made him great? And now that ain't going on no more, it affects his play. Psychologically, some people wire different. Maybe he needed to be a bad boy to be a good one. I don't know.
Yeah, because remember, Marshawn Lynch, after he got out the league, he was talking to Peyton Manning and said he needed a shot and a half, maybe 2 shots in Hennessy before he got out there and played, man. So, yeah, that's really crazy to hear, man. Well, maybe that's what he needed, man. He needed the massages.
He's not the only player. He's not the only player in the league that get down like that. I promise you that. He probably shared that bottle with about 3 or 4 teammates.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, man, I definitely feel like that was a crazy game from the beginning, man. The tip interception for the touchdown, and it was a really competitive game because the defenses were showing up. I feel like the defense for the Steelers got called out by Mike Tomlin. And not only that, but the Steelers, nation, because they know the Steelers better than that. And they felt like the Steelers laid down that first game. And they wasn't having that this game, man. TJ Watt was everywhere and the defense was real explosive. It was an excellent game. But it came down to them catching up and getting back in the game is because I think that the Browns got too comfortable. And guess what? When they got too comfortable, man, Kenny Pickett threw that slant and George Pickens got that mug and caught it from the middle. And once he caught that slam, man, he was gone. And I was like, that changed the whole
And
game.
let's be honest, that was the only good play they had all game offensively. See, here's the thing: the Steelers will definitely be in games where the other team on the other side is not that diverse offensively. When they play teams like a San Francisco, it's going to be a long day for the Steelers because offensively they are very crippled.
Lord knows if they have to play like the Jets or somebody, man. I just didn't really see a lot from Kenny Pickett, man. And what hurt him too is Deontay is gone. Johnson, and he had a lot of injuries as well. There's been a lot of injuries, man.
Yes,
when I just backing them up, man, from like the familiar players that we know, it's maybe 3 players that I put on there, or maybe 4 that's all from the Lions team, like you said. And then on top of that, man, it's like the rest of them, the other like 16 is players that we're all familiar with, man. And that's a lot of injuries, man, that go on right now. And then that makes you question, okay, sitting out the guys and not playing them much preseason, man. Maybe they just need to go about the preseason now, like how they do the All-Star games or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just to get them comfortable, because if they feel like they have that much of a fear for them guys to go out there and do their jobs, then you go into the regular season and you don't even look like you're a professional, because college has definitely been outshining them right now. But then I just look at it and say, man, it's incredible to me to see how poor they play, though. Like, week 1 was really bad, but week 2 wasn't that far behind. We had a couple of gems and good games, but it wasn't that many. It was on the
right. Like I said, they definitely gonna have to revisit how they contend with preseason overall. I really feel that. I understand that they want to make money and have the extra game or whatnot, but I think the argument gonna have to be that, okay, let's just quit BS. And y'all know y'all want 18 games in the end, so make the 18 games, but you're going to have 2 full legitimate preseason games where everybody plays they people for the most part, and just pray they don't get hurt, because in the end you took them out so they wouldn't get hurt, and now they playing these first couple games, and because their body's not accustomed, they getting hurt anyway. So make it make sense.
And one other game that I saw that surprised me, and I want to bring that up too, man, is Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We didn't even think they were going to be even close to being good this year, man. We thought that as far as Baker Mayfield and his decision makings, that he was going to make a lot of mistakes, but I was just really surprised in how well he played. I'm not saying that he was elite. He played good enough for them not to lose, but he was hitting everybody on target, man. When I say whenever they need plays from Mike Evans, he tore it up, man. In the last couple of weeks, he's played good. I think he had 171 yards and a couple of touchdowns this last game. But when you look at it, it seems like not only is the offense playing good, because Godwin had his moments, and they running back as well. But the defense has been lights out, man. Like, they shut down Kirk Cousins, and then they shut down Justin Fields, man. I mean, simple as that.
No. You giving Bucks defense a little too much credit. Yeah, they a decent defense, but that Bears team looked just as bad as it was last year at this point. Maybe even worse. I got to be honest. It get to the point where, in looking at some of that game, I'm questioning if Fields is the guy, man. I'm like I said, he has those abilities to be dynamic at times, but his decision making late in games not good. He got some decent weapons there in Chicago. I don't think he's utilizing them enough. The play calling could be better, yes, and his offensive line still not quite up to snuff. But yeah, that Bears team should be playing better than they played these last couple weeks. I don't think they would have beat the Buccaneers anyway, but I just was not impressed with what I've seen from them so far. I think they could be on their way to another 3-win season at this point.
So you think the two games that the Buccaneers played, it wasn't decent though as far as their defense and their takeaways?
Like I said, they have a decent defense. It's definitely better defenses in the National Football League than the Buccaneers. I would say they might be in that lower level of the top 10 defensively, but they're definitely not up there with, like, say, the Cowboys or the 49ers. They're not even on that level.
Yeah, but they're on a good level to where they can win though, and two of them wins came because the defense stepped up and got some takeaways.
Here's the thing, though, Hugh, they don't have to be great in the division that they're in, because looking at some of the other teams in that division, it's looking about as bad as it was last year. They could be good enough to win that division again with Baker Mayfield. And at that point, you Tampa Bay, you got some decisions to make at that point. Because I know the plan B at this point is if Baker starts to not play so well, just go ahead and pull the tank move and see what we come up with next year. But he playing well enough to where you might have to consider keeping that dude and paying him some money.
Yeah, because they've been pretty sound, but I think that if you could just play C average, man, with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, that you would definitely win. But speaking of, like you said, with the Bears, man, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on over there, man. Justin Fields had a press conference today. He threw Lou Getsy under the bus because they was asking him, what do you think that's making you make these decisions? And he said, man, I feel like I've been real robotic because of the fact that, my coaching. And he said,
to the coach press conference Sunday, they threw him under the bus too, Hugh. It's some bad blood going on there.
And it's crazy too, because now that we found out what's been going on, man, it's been a big mess over there, man. It's probably one of the worst things as far as one of the teams in like football right now. And it's only going to probably get worse, man. After those comments was being made, I believe my man's already premeditated and said that he was going to resign, Alan Williams. But he ended up resigning their defensive coordinator, man. He said he wanted to focus more on getting his health together. And yeah, he definitely just resigned. Like it wasn't even a while later. I say about not even an hour later. It was less than an hour after he had that press conference. Alan Williams resigned as their defensive coordinator. So yeah, it's a lot more.
Whether the resignation based on that or what some conversations had after the fact, and then a determination was made. You question how some of these decisions go down behind closed doors. But a team that I'm very curious and interested to know your thoughts on, that's actually 2-0 at this point, the Washington Commanders. What's your thoughts on that, Hugh?
Man, I felt like the first game was really bad, and I said Sam Howell's trash. But that second game, man, he definitely played better. What surprised me was Russell Wilson. They couldn't close the door, man. It seemed like they had control, and they should have closed that game out. But at the same time, though, I'm not really still looking at it, even though I know that they're in trouble right now. But when you still look at it too, man, that Washington front has always been like just disruptive, man. And then you got Forbes over there on defense, man. You don't really have a bad defense. That was one of the best draft picks. They got the cornerback, and I just feel like that defense really helps them out. But the offense wasn't as bad as the week one. I was actually surprised, man, because I didn't think that Washington would be a 2-0 team by now. I thought that they was on borrowed time. Surprised they won the first game. Was really more surprised that they won the second game.
It's crazy how they definitely seem to be that much better than the Giants at this point. Because if not for them playing the Cardinals last week, they probably be 0-2 right now. But yeah, like I said, I very much like what I saw defensively from the Commanders. I think they have a better defense than the Buccaneers, to be honest. And
They
Sam
got
Howell actually a little better than advertised. So I was kind of
they
impressed
got
with him.
they got a top 3, maybe top 4 best front 7 in the league right now. And ain't too many people have a better front than them. So yeah, I'm not surprised with that.
Right. And people forget about that dude, McLaren, man. That dude's a good receiver. He's a real good receiver. He don't get enough love.
Because Jahan Dyson hasn't really heated up quite yet, but McLaren's one of the better receivers that don't get a lot of love because of where he's at. And then I think the team, as crazy as it sounds too, I'm not trying to start any rumors or get anything to the point to where I start anything or any type of controversy. But if you've seen that game, man, I don't know, man, maybe it was the way they showed it when I was watching NFL Live before the show, man. You seen Eric Bieniemy hype as hell, getting out there, man, when they was making plays, giving the fives. He was real aggressive. And the team was buying that, man. The offense
I
in
understand. He wasn't like
see
that
that.
in Kansas City. He wasn't like that in Kansas City at all.
He was very aggressive, man. Like, he was so enthusiastic and he was like really aggressive. And I said, oh, man, that might spell trouble, man. So I believe they're trending in the right direction. But I think soon as Ron Rivera and them start losing games, man, like you said, they already had his replacement there waiting in the
Right. And then
trenches.
again, remember, in recent years, Ron Rivera had the health issues. If it comes down to something like that, they may just go ahead and consider. I mean, I hate that that's what it will probably take for Bieniemy to get a job as a head coach in the NFL, but it's in the realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else you got for us, Hugh?
Man, it's been a really wacky week of just the football in general, especially in the NFL. But one of the games too that I saw that I was really surprised in, man, is when I looked at this sheet right here and what the heck is going on with the Chargers, man. The Los Angeles Chargers haven't won a game yet, and most times it seems like they'll be winning the game and then they'll lose at the last minute.
Let me say something before we even address them fully. I hate LA football fans. I hate them because SoFi Stadium is probably one of the best, if not the best, stadium that's not Jerry World in all the National Football League. That being said, every home game that the Chargers and the Rams play, it's considerably more away people in the building than it is home crowd. Especially that damn 49ers matchup with the Rams. That was ridiculous.
Did you see that?
49ers, man.
Yeah, did you see that? What I put on my reels on Instagram? Yeah, that was that. When he got that run, Christian McCaffrey, man, I'm thinking, okay, damn, that was a good run. I'm thinking he was gonna get hype, and the fans won't probably be as hyped as he was, but man, that stadium erupted. They went crazy when he made that play. And I'm like, man, this is not even their stadium. But now I start to see a whole lot more of them being disrespectful to the home team, man. It's crazy.
Right. I mean, when the Lakers in town in LA, Laker fan in full effect. When the Clippers in town, Laker fan in full effect. You see what I'm saying? But it ain't never no big discouragement from, when they play Sacramento or they play Golden State, you see all these Golden State fans stuff in the crowd. They're not having that in the crypto. I don't know what's going on with SoFi, where you get everybody name. I mean, hell, when the Lions played them a couple years ago, it was so many Lions fans in there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that got to change.
Way over there.
I got to change because
back to the Chargers right quick. That seat getting real hot for Coach Stanley over there, bro. because I'm not understanding why they like this, particularly defensively. And you're supposed to be a defensive coach. That defense in the Charger country is supposed to be way better than what it was. I mean, like you said, who was that man again that we mentioned? Bring his
Khalil
name.
Mack.
Y'all remember that dude? He a memory right now because we ain't seen him. He MIA over there for real. Bosa,
Yeah.
not as good as his other brother. Not at all. Derwin James Jr., he was one of the candidates for Defensive Player of the Year a few years ago. What happened to that dude?
J.C. Jackson, defensive player. In the training camp, became a Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't get it, man. I think that seat is hot. And just like we talked about with the Commanders, I think his replacement is already in the building too. When you think about Kellen Moore, because the offense looks fine. It's that defense that's not doing them well. But yeah, if you want to revisit the NFL week 2, we can a little bit later. But I definitely want to leave us some time to talk about the big college game of the week, because in the end, it was even more snoozers in college last week. I ain't gonna lie to you. This non-conference schedule for some of these bigger teams. If you notice, when you said much about the Georgias and the Michigans of the world, because they ain't playing nobody and they ain't trying to. They going with vanilla offense. They not doing much, so ain't much to talk about. But the team everybody talking about, we got to talk about them too, man. Them Colorado Buffaloes with Coach Sanders. Go for it, Hugh.
Before I even get into that, man, this was the best sleep I've ever had on a Saturday. Was this week with those games. That being said, it was already a crazy game coming into this series, because you had Jay Norvell, man. He was talking crazy, like, when you're in an interview, you're supposed to take off your hat and glasses, and that's the way you're supposed to approach when you're having an interview. Don't be disrespectful, and basically saying that he was being disrespectful because he had on a hat and some glasses and was throwing shade at Deion. And I think a lot of people are too, because of the fact of the publicity and the love that he's getting. Man, I've seen, like, in their locker room, man, they had a pool table, all types of TVs. You got Master P playing Offset and ping pong. It's like a lot was going on, man. And I think a lot of people don't like the publicity Deion got over there, man. And going into the game, you seen Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders getting into it with the team, and the teams had to be separated. And at one point, I could say, man, Jay Norvell, man, had a hell of a game plan for him, because it wasn't a lot of high scoring. And it really was interesting, because when it was still close in the beginning of the game, Travis Hunter caught a nice pass, and he was way out of bounds. And then Henry Blackburn hit him with that late hit. And they were saying something about a lacerated lung or something like that. So he'll be out. So he'll be out for a while, man. I'm gonna say I'd be surprised if he come back in the next 3-4 weeks. But that play caused a lot of controversy, man. It was to the point it got so bad that they were saying it was death threats to Henry Blackburn and his family. Way before the game was even over.
Hold on, man. You got to let me address that before you go on. Attention, internet gangsters. Y'all damn stupid, okay? It's a game. Yes, we love talking our sports and whatnot. We good at it, and we love our sports. But when all is said and done, it's a game. It should never come to a point after a game played by people that you are so upset with an individual that you threaten that person's family. 9 times out of 10, the people that said it, most of you, y'all ain't gonna do a damn thing but hide behind that keyboard. Blackburn, I believe, is 6'2", 2 something. In real life, if you see him face to face, you wouldn't do nothing but pee your drawers, okay? You ain't about to do nothing to that man. And what did his mama have to do with what happened on the field? Nothing. Y'all done upset her household and had to change numbers. They didn't have to have security at the house that they didn't live in since he was a baby, because y'all don't know how to act. That's a damn shame. I am so glad Dion came out and condemned this act and let me and my partner Hugh do so as well. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know I don't like to use profanity on the air, but you're an ass for that. That was ass. Continue, Hugh.
The crazy part about that too was the fact when you see it in fast, like real time, it looked like he was almost quite. He was just there, but he missed him. But then it was more of a bang bang play when you see it in real time. It wasn't like he stopped and he just hit him. He was all close to the sideline, and he wasn't out of bounds. So he still played the play, man. Because I know Coach Brown was saying that he didn't think it was a dirty play. It was just him trying to play. And at first I looked at it and thought it was suspect, when you seen it in slow mo. But at the same time, man, it's a rivalry game where he's trying to win. And I'm not saying cheap shots are accepted, but when you see it in real time, it looked more like a bang bang play. And I feel bad for that kid, man, because like you said, he didn't deserve that, man. It's just a game. Sometimes I get crazy when it comes to football. Ask Eve. I don't ever be talking about doing no death threats or killing nobody.
And if he ever did, I'd go over there right now to the address and go upside his little head. Like, Hugh, it ain't that deep, man. If you don't calm your ass down and stop making death threats, knucklehead. I mean, bottom line, that kid, rumor has it that he is actually taking online class this week because they scared to even have him walk around campus. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Come on, he made a mistake. Okay, he had a bad play. There was other people that got targeted and stuff this weekend. They wasn't getting death threats. I understand that y'all got love for Dion and all that. I appreciate that, but some of that stuff is uncalled for. Okay, calm down.
Man, that took away from a good ass game too, man.
It didn't to me because that definitely was one of the better college football games I ever saw.
Because when I tell you, remember when I text you, man, I was chilling at home. Like I said, man, I was too tired, man, because the games in the first part, even the afternoon games, most of them was terrible. So I slept in, man. So I was up most of the night. But then I got to bed, got a little comfortable because it's getting a little nippy here at night. And then once I dozed off for a minute, I looked up, started watching the game again. But it went to like 2 overtimes, man. I watched that game in its entirety. It was definitely worth it, man. I feel like they had to go for 2 to actually beat that team, man. And I had to give props to Colorado State because I didn't know they were well coached like that. And it was the one mistake that the defensive end made. I forgot his name. Was it Kamara? I forgot his last name. But the dude was everywhere. And I feel like just
that dude definitely will be in the NFL, no doubt.
That dude, I know that he definitely got a lot of people looking at him right now from that game because for the most part, you're looking at Shedeur Sanders and you're looking at Travis Hunter and a lot of those guys. But then, unfortunately, all the death threats was going on with Henry Blackburn, but he played a hell of a game. And Kamara, that dude, man, he was phenomenal, man.
And give some credit to that wide receiver over there for Colorado State. I don't recall his name. And then, of course, the tight end as well, the big guy. They both NFL ready too. They had some great plays in that game. Like I said, that's everything you want a rivalry game to be outside of the extra foolishness. Okay, yeah, it got a little too chippy at times. A lot of that had to do with a lot of the comments made before the game. Again, I do believe that the Oregon coach advised his team this week to shut their damn mouth and not do nothing to add to fuel. That being said, I really, really like that game a lot. I like Coach Sanders a lot. I highly recommend if you get the opportunity to go on YouTube and look at one of the post-game press conferences where they talked to Dion. He is very thought-provoking and entertaining in his post-game press conference. As a former press person who has been to their share of after-game interviews, he is definitely somebody that I would enjoy interviewing very much after the game for his candidness and for him just keeping it 100 with you in regards to the whole situation. But yeah, I really hope Travis Hunter makes a good recovery and comes back and have good games. It's really going to hurt them these next few weeks, seeing that They probably gonna play the two best teams they play all year in Oregon and USC, and they really could use him for both of those games. But yeah, that was a good one. That definitely was the shining star of a otherwise very lackluster weekend in college football. Definitely gonna be some better games this weekend. You got Ohio State playing Notre Dame. You got Ole Miss playing Alabama. That should be a pretty good one. I forget who USC is playing, but they got a good matchup too. Then of course the Oregon-Colorado game. That's gonna be much CTV as well. So yeah, looking forward to this weekend in college sports.
Yeah.
Anything stick out with you?
Man, it's about 5 games. First and foremost, that guy, dude, you like the receiver over there at Colorado State, name is Torrey Horton. He's out on that. And yeah, man, I was just really surprised in this one, and I'm gonna definitely run that down too on Guru Perspective, man. I was just really intrigued this week because when I looked in at it, I said, man, we got a lot of good games, like you said. 15th ranked Ole Miss versus Alabama. Then you got the Colorado, Oregon, UCLA, Utah with hopefully Cam Rising, man. And then you got Oregon State against Washington State. That's going to be a good game, man. It's some really good ones. I want to see what your boy Cade McNamara do against number 7 Penn State too, man. So
that's also going to be a good game. Agreed. Like I said, definitely better matchups now that we got into the conference schedule. Thank God.
Unfortunately,
we got a little bit of time left, so
USC is playing Arizona State, so scratch that.
Okay, then. Well, like I said, that's basically the warm up for them till next week. So hopefully that's not a trap game for them this week, and they handle their business because next week they play USC plays Colorado at Colorado. If you think last week was jumping, they saying that the ticket prices for that game already more than the 5-12 people was paying for this game.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ric Flair come there, man, because I've been hearing him talk about Prime lately.
Everybody else have. Why not? Okay. Before we head on out, we definitely gonna give y'all our previews of Week 3 in the NFL. Who we got winning and losing? You ready to run it down, Hugh?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Thursday, of course, we got the Giants and the 49ers at the 49ers.
I'm going to go 49ers. I'm going to take them over the 10.
Oh, my. And that is quite a spread. But based on what I've seen with the Giants in Week 1 and Week 2, I'm with you. I say you go for it. And definitely take the under. Broncos and Dolphins.
I'm going to go the Dolphins because I don't really see much with the Broncos right now, man. And them being 0-2 right now, I'm not going to say Sean Payton on the hot seat, but it's definitely making Russell Wilson seat hot.
I definitely would go with Miami and that 6.5. Falcons playing here at Detroit against the Lions.
I got us bouncing back. I hope that they clean up the boneheaded bad decisions they was making on defense and like the fouls and giving up plays. But yeah, it's 3. I'm gonna take that spread.
I'm gonna go with the Lions in the spread as well. Bears and the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs, and I'm trying to see that spread. Yeah, over the spread. I'm gonna go over the spread.
Understand, people, that spread 12.5. That's the biggest spread of any team all season so far. But based on what I've seen from the Bears. No, I still ain't gonna take that spread though. I'm sorry. This is the NFL. The Chiefs winning, but I'm scared of that 12.5.
Okay, yeah, I think they might sit out Mahomes at one point. So yeah, it's a possibility.
Ravens and the Colts, man.
Come on, man. I'm going with the Ravens.
I gotta go Ravens. Especially if the kid is still hurt. It's been 2 games. He got hurt both games. I'm hoping this ain't a Tua situation with him. Titans against the Browns. No, I don't even think we're gonna go there. Next,
that's a funky.
Patriots against the Jets.
I'm gonna take the spread with the Patriots, man, because I know the defense is lights out over there, man. But the Patriots is just a play away from being 2-0. But I still feel like they need to clean up and get more of an explosive offense. If Zach Wilson got to play, I don't know how he'll perform, man. But I'm gonna go with that spread. It's not that big. It's like a 2.5 point spread.
I kind of can't argue going with the spread because I know the Patriots. I don't see them lighting them up by any stretch.
Funky.
Because the Jets do got decent defense, but they at
Yes,
least come for the extra field goal. Okay, Bills versus the Commanders. That's actually gonna be a good game.
a good game, but I'm gonna take the Bills under the spread, man. Because I don't know, because that front
Yeah, I
kind of
think
shows.
that's a lot closer than that 6.5 myself. I will also go with the Bills. Saints versus the Packers. That actually might be a decent game.
I'm gonna actually go with Green Bay at home with that spread.
I'm kind of liking Green Bay in that one as well, Hugh. We got the Texans against the Jaguars.
Come
No.
on,
We got the Chargers and the Vikings. Both 0-2, by the way.
that's funny too. They got them both even. Man, I'm gonna go with the Vikes, man. But I'm gonna still say even, but I'm gonna pull a little bit closer with the Vikes because they at home. That's a
I'm
funky
gonna go with the
game.
Chargers just because.
That's a
I
funky one.
find it hard to believe that the Vikings about to be 0-3. That's deep. The Panthers and the Seahawks.
Seahawks, because the Panthers gonna have a lot of growing pains.
Let's move on. Hold on. Oh Lord, the Cowboys and the Cardinals.
Come on, man. I got the Cowboys defense too. I'm thankful. I'm gonna go with that.
Dallas by
spread.
12. I'm taking all that 12, bro. I think that might be a blowout.
Play on that game.
We got Steelers and the Raiders.
I'm gonna go with on the road, but I feel like they'll cover that spread too.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers in that one because Steelers always find a way to end up over 500. This is the type of game they win to make that happen.
We got two more.
Then we got 2 Monday night games again, y'all. I like the double Monday night game thing, by the way. I ain't mad at that at all. We got the Eagles and the Bucks.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles with the spread.
Eagles, Buccaneers by 5. It should go that way. I think I'm gonna go with you with that one. And we got the Rams and the Bengals.
I think this is the game where the Rams show up, man. I think the Bengals show up. My bad. I'll take the 2.
I'm only going with the Bengals because they at home.
That's
That
it.
being said, Joe Burrow don't play. Bengals don't win. Flat out.
Not at all.
Right, I would say for y'all fantasy players and for y'all people that like to get y'all gamble on, check the injury report this week. It's a lot of people on it, or at least will be on it. Before we go out, I'm gonna kind of step outside the box here for a minute. He'll talk about somebody else that has an injury. Unfortunately, the great Shohei Ohtani. Let me put him up here for y'all that may be crazy and not be familiar with the best player in baseball right now for some strange reason, unbeknownst to either me or you. Yeah, that dude right there. He is now officially out for the season. He has had a successful surgery yesterday on his UCL throwing elbow. It is said that he should be completely ready to play as terms of offense in 2024, but he probably will not be pitching until 2025. Keep in mind, also, he is a free agent. My 2 questions, Hugh, is 1, is he staying with the Angels? And 2, wherever you think he's not going to be, if not the Angels, do they end up asking him just to be a hitter, or do they ride him out with both?
Let me first hit you off with a game time audible, E. We haven't done that in a while.
All right.
Rams is running back Cam Akers to the Minnesota Vikings and swap for a 2026 draft pick. The draft pick right now is unknown, but Cam Akers is heading to Minnesota. We knew it was a lot of controversy and things that was going on over there with them making him a healthy scratch. But this was a perfect opportunity now to get a running back, a real running back, after we were just talking about Madison. So hopefully that works out for Cam Akers.
Well, you know that's been an issue for years now. I think ever since Matthew stepped on the scene over there at the Rams, Akers been an issue, and I'm surprised he stayed on the damn Rams this long, to be honest.
Yes, sir.
We said earlier in the show that Minnesota needed some running game, so there you have it.
To make it short and sweet when it comes to my man Shohei Ohtani, man, you already know I want that boy to go. And if he go to the New York Yankees, I want him to play both sides of the ball. But I still feel like his best fit would be going on the other side of Los Angeles to the Dodgers because by that time, I think your man Clayton Kershaw gonna be going to another team, man. And to be able to get an asset like that, a guy who could be your DH and pitch for you, I think that that'll be definitely the move. That's the stronger move to me right now. I wouldn't be surprised too because I heard the White Sox are involved too. There's a lot of teams involved in trying to get this man.
Let me throw two sleeper picks out to there, y'all, because in the end, I can't see him staying with the Angels. I'm sorry. I think if he was, he would have rolled out the rest of the season. Two of the sleeper teams you might want to look out for. One, Texas Rangers. You know, in these last few years, they've been throwing around money. And remember, because Texas don't have state income tax, it is definitely an ideal spot for somebody that's trying to get the big money. And they don't seem to mind give it, especially now that we don't know what's going to go on with the pitching situation there. You got Scherzer that he out hurt, and he may have to have surgery. And, let's not even talk about the other guy. Oh, Lord. Every year that dude hurt. But anyway, the other sleeper pick, San Diego Padres. They've been trying to get it in now for a few years, and they always seem to be that one or two people away from really making that happen. I say they get rid of Tatis Jr. and put that money on the books and make the big push for Ohtani. I think he'll love it in San Diego.
Yeah, man, because they already got one of the best in the game, man, and Blake Snell, and his numbers this year have been incredible. And put them two together, man, would definitely make a contending team, and finally would give the threat that we thought that.
Don't forget also a person that he got a lot of respect for is on that squad as well, young Yu Darvish. So that might be somebody that they might incorporate to help recruit that brother.
And I know there's a lot of sleeper teams out there too. I know Boston being one of them because they got, a lot of, background with some of the guys from overseas,
I think a team like Boston get him, they definitely want to overpay. And Lord knows if the Yankees do anything, leave him alone. See if y'all can free the damn boy, the other Angel over there. See if you can get him. Yes, I'm losing names, y'all. Mike Trout. There we go. See if y'all can get Mike Trout out of there. That's the person I can see being a Yankee. Remember him being a Jersey native. I think that'd be an ideal fit for them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Put him, Stanton, and Judge back to back. That's the lineup you can get with.
And you're right, because the center field is not that great over there. Remember, they was trying to get center field help out of All-Star game.
And then keep in mind, y'all can rotate them being DH here and there because as older players that are constantly hurt, as the three of them are, I think if you can work that out and then find basic person A to play center field when they're not doing so, or left field even, yeah, I think that'd be the move. But nonetheless, y'all, this is going to end this part of the show known as the Guru Football Session. Before we head out, though, we got to let Hugh do his thing. Please advertise where they can find you, my brother.
Y'all can find me on Pure to the Game blog on Facebook. Y'all can see me on Spotify too as well with the Guru Perspective. And I'll be doing a little stuff on TikTok, trying to grow my followers so I can actually get that started. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 so I can start going live and telling the sports news. But appreciate everybody who chime in to the Guru Perspective and the people who's been looking at the page, the Pure to the Game. I definitely try to give you the best I can give and always try to come with the best and latest breaking news.
Absolutely. And of course, always we'll be here doing the sports show, but you can also catch my show known as I Am Nighthawk. Tonight it will be airing before this broadcast, so you will see it if you check out everything. If not, by all means do so, and then there will be the entertainment show known as Up in Their Business, which we will talk about sometime soon, okay? That being said, thank you always for your insights, my brother. I appreciate you, and we will catch you on the flip. After these messages from the Nighthawk Network, We'll be coming back to that show known as the Big Buck Sports Report. All right, all right, all right. All right, y'all. There y'all have it. Another episode of the show within the show. The Guru Sports Report is 10:25 p.m. I got to be up early, so I'm about to head out very shortly. But before that, let me update you on some scores right quick. Basically, let's talk a little baseball real fast. Playoffs about 12 games away. Already we have the Atlanta Braves, the Baltimore Orioles, Tampa Bay Rays, and Los Angeles Dodgers as slated to be in the playoffs. The rest of them are going to work it out in the division and wild card areas sometime in the next 12 days. Next week, we should have a pretty good idea, I think, of who's going to be in, who's not going to be in. So we'll do a little preview of the playoffs at that point. In terms of the WNBA action in the last game of the first round, at least potentially it was. Let's see what our final ended up being, people. The final for that game was the Connecticut Sun 90 and the Minnesota Lynx 75. So indeed, Connecticut Sun moving on to the second round. As slated, the top 4 seeds did indeed go on to win and are going to be your second round people in the WNBA playoffs. So I'm sure we will be deep into that discussion next week as well. In the meanwhile, please enjoy your sports, join them responsibly. There should never be any death threats in regards to anything you see in regards to sports. Again, I point out that it's just ridiculous. I am so not happy that happened. Nonetheless, we'll talk about those types of things and more next week. Until then, have a great rest of your week. We love you here at the Nighthawk Network. We are out. Deuces.